Hi, I'm Chef Frank, this is Proto Cooks, and today we're going to make cornbread. Cornbread is one of these things that there's a lot of recipes in the world that everyone has their own way of doing it. I like to do mine sweet and dense, okay? I know people in the South like it crumbly and not so sweet. I happen to be from the North. I like mine sweet and dense, lots of salted butter on it, and so that's the direction I normally go when I think of cornbread, okay? So here are the ingredients for our cornbread. 2 tablespoons of honey, teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, just 1 1/3 cup white sugar, 1/3 cup of melted butter, and 2/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. I have 2 cups of milk and 1/4 cup of yogurt, 4 eggs, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1 cup of cornmeal. So in my bowl here, I have my cornmeal and my flour, and I'm going to add the dry ingredients to this. So I have my baking powder, some salt. I'm going to add the sugar. Sugar is usually included as a wet ingredient, but I'm going to add the sugar to this as well. Okay. I'm going to get a whisk and just kind of whisk this all together. You could sift this all together, but I'm okay with just whisking it. Okay, so I'm going to whisk it together so I have a nice, everything gets mixed really nice and it's combined really well, okay? And then I'm going to do my wet ingredients. I have milk and yogurt in here, and I like the little tang of yogurt. This kind of combination of milk and yogurt gives me the same feel as kind of a buttermilk. I don't have any buttermilk, so I'm going to use milk and yogurt, okay? I'm going to crack my eggs into this. 4 large eggs. And I'm going to add my honey to this as well and whisk everything together, okay? Honey adds a little sweetness. We have the sugar, but this is going to add a little more depth. Okay, put that over here for now. And then I'm going to whisk this together. Try and break up my eggs really good. Get everything mixed really good. Try and beat that honey in. I had warmed it up, so it should dissolve pretty easily. Okay, so we get this all mixed together. We're going to bring our dry ingredients over. Again, get that mixed really good. Bring our dry ingredients over. I'm going to add our wet to the dry. And if anything's sticking in the bottom, just get it all out. Okay, I'm going to add my butter and oil as well. I always find the combination of butter and oil is good because butter gives a lot of great flavor, but oil gives kind of a moist texture to my cornbread. I think that it just makes it so that it stays moister longer. Okay, and then I just mix this together, okay? And I'm trying not to mix it too much. I just want to bring it together. It could be a little lumpy. I don't want it too smooth. Okay, gonna bring it together. You overmix, you start to form gluten, and gluten makes a really kind of tough cornbread, okay? So give it a good stir. Still has a few lumps in it, and I think I'm good there, just as long as there's no flour in the bottom. And put that over here, and then while I grease it, let it sit for a sec. I'm going to grease a 9 by 13 pan, and this is just vegetable shortening. You can use whatever you want. You can change your fat up if you want. You want to use lard in this? Go for it. Use lard, but pretty much whatever you have in house. But again, this tends to be a very like sweet, kind of rich, dense cornbread, so I stick with butter and oil. Okay, so take that. Let's put the batter in. And this is a large cornbread too. This is going to take a little while to cook. It's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to put it in the oven at about 350 until it's kind of golden brown. It should take about 45 minutes to an hour. And we'll see what it looks like. So I like to spread it out just a little. It's going to puff up and it's going to give us a really nice big loaf of cornbread. Okay, so let me put this in the oven, and when it's done, we'll pull it out. Our cornbread is done. It's not totally cool, but it's cooled enough that it's not hot. I like to serve it this way, warm. I think it's delicious warm. It's sweet, it's dense, and it's delicious. So I'm just gonna cut a piece. You can tell when it's done because it took a little closer to an hour. Usually it takes 45 minutes. When you give it a shake, this center part, if it's not cooked all the way, is a little like jello-y and wiggly. You have to give it a shake and make sure that this center part is not wiggly anymore, okay? So I'm gonna cut a piece. Okay, I always serve my cornbread with a generous amount of butter. You know, some people might say this is more like a cake than a cornbread, but I think it's delicious. I get some really good butter. We buy some Irish butter. It's delicious. I love it. It's a little sweet. It's really dense. The butter's nice and savory and salty. I got a little fried chicken in the back. This is going to go great with it. I'm Chef Frank. This is Proto Cooks. I hope you try this recipe and enjoy. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and talk to you soon.